Welcome to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax. Except you, that person driving. Sit up and keep your eyes on the road. Your ears, though, can still listen as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
me, Rob. Let's go talk about some of those free agents.
And I heard a rumor about you, Rob. It was about you specifically. According to our first comment of the day from Scott, that Rob is a dreamboat. Just had to share with everybody in case people are listening on, the podcast audio platforms and don't know. I mean, they're just missing out by not being part of the, the video platforms as well that we're on. So yes, Rob is apparently a dreamboat, folks.
Mustache.
As he threads his mustache. So appreciate everybody coming on with us there today. Today is the first day of legal tampering. And how weird does that sound to say the start of free agency? I don't know why the NFL does it this way ever. I never have understood this, but whatever. That's what they call it. The first day of legal tampering. So we're allowed to talk to whoever we want. We're allowed to do a little wink, wink, nut judge to whoever we want at that point. We just can't put pen to paper till Wednesday. So
we're allowed to talk about the monies.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of wink, wink, nudge, nudge going on over the last 8 hours or so. Is actually 9 hours or so. I think the noon was the start of the free agency time period technically here. So before we get started, folks, a couple of quick announcements here. As always, sharing is caring. Please do go ahead and share the link out to everybody that you'd like to. Everybody think you might enjoy it at that point. Also, feel free to join in the show. So you can either leave a comment here on whatever platform you're on. Specifically, we do see the comments that are left automatically here in our program on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. Also, you can call into the show on the Goofball Hotline, 732-245-8736. Again, that's 732-245-8736. And we have a new thing we're doing here. So if you like the content we're going to be providing here, not just today, but in the future here, if you've been a follower for a while, we've now joined up with buymeacoffee.com. So if you'd like to sponsor our next show, sponsorships are available at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. And that's, of course, 2, the number, not the word. Again, buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Again, everybody, so we're going to go ahead and go into all the news that happened there today. We had a complete and utter free agent frenzy.
Mania.
Oh, yes, the free agent frenzy. Yes, there was a lot of money going around, and a lot of that was previously owned by John Mara and Steve Tisch because, the Giants did make some moves today, and a lot of Giants fans were getting really upset until a couple hours ago. Like, oh my God, what are we doing? We're not doing anything. We're sitting on our hands. Guys, you don't make the first move in free agency. He who buys first buys too expensive. Yes.
That's true.
And as Corey comes in of YouTube going, no, my Broncos had the free agent frenzy. Corey, your Broncos didn't. We're going to get all into that here. We are going to go ahead and start here with the Giants, of course, since we are a Giants podcast. When we're done with that, though, we're going to give you guys literally every single move of significance here. And some, to be honest, are kind of more minor moves even, too. But I'm going to give you everything that I got written down here from the last few hours here. And there's a whole lot. So buckle up, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Have your drink ready. Have your popcorn ready. Have a restroom nearby. It's coming, guys. We just ask if you do call the Goofball Hotline, please do not be in the restroom at that time.
Or be silent. It's fine.
So first we have the linebacker position I got to go over. And originally I planned on going over everything kind of position by position, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, so on and so forth. But I got to start with the big one here for the Giants. Bobby Okereke out of the Indianapolis Colts was signed by us here today.
Say that 5 times fast.
Okereke. Okay, I started messing up there a little bit. You get the gist. So he's signed here for 4 years, $40 million. $22 million of it is guaranteed. And before anybody else says it, did we overpay? Probably. We probably overpaid. To be honest, I think the Giants probably saw all of the different linebackers going off the board. I think this is the one they wanted from the very get-go. And they were getting a little nervous because they saw so many coming off the board. They probably upped the previous offer they had for him earlier in the day. But here's a guy who literally faced the most targets of any linebacker in the NFL this past year. 78. Now, on paper, you go, okay, that's not so good. If people are targeting him, he's really bad against the pass, right? I mean, it makes sense. It's 100% a sound theory if somebody thinks that right off the bat. So, no, he held his own. So, he allowed negative 2.3 receptions over expected and 5.9 yards to target. I'm telling you, watching the little bit of tape I've had the chance to watch in the last hour or two on this guy, I love watching the way he plays. Love it. So this man basically sits in the defense, constantly moves his leg around, almost like, they say with the with the running back, keep your legs going, keep your legs going, keep legs. Yeah. Like you could be sitting still, you want to still be kind of running in places, you're waiting for the hole to open up. This guy does that. He's constantly moving. And the second he sees where to go, he just jets there. Jets. This man is fast. Yeah. Think fast, be fast. This man definitely has been following Chad Powers. He is fast. He's very agile. He's aware of where the quarterback's eyes are and where the ball is going. This guy, I've seen him break blocks off on tape now to go ahead and get a tackle even. I mean, this is exciting as a Giant fan. This is probably the best linebacker we've had since Antonio Pierce.
That's saying a lot.
That's how long it's been since we've had a guy at this caliber. And I'll say this. I think that Blake Martinez could have taken that title if he had been around a little longer. But I do think this guy's better than Blake Martinez. I do, because I think he's better in coverage than Blake is. So, yeah, as John S. Anderson locks in here with Drew's in love with linebacker, how about Roberto? So, listen, I am in, as Gettleman would have said, full bloom love, because, like I said, this was a position we needed. So, what's your thoughts,
those
Rob?
Googie eyes.
What's your thoughts, Rob?
I think it's fantastic. Like you said, this guy is always all over the ball. He's always right there, ready to move, ready to just to run down anyone that gets in his way. And I think it's a great asset for the Giants. And like you said, we haven't had this kind of player on that line in a while.
No. Yeah. It's been forever since we've had a linebacker that I can sit there and count on. And I'm telling you, this guy's going to help so much in the run game, it's not even funny. And he's been all over the defense, too, for the Colts. And that's one thing I think that they're going to like. He wasn't a Mike linebacker for a lot of his career. A lot of his career was actually the Will linebacker. And he moved over this year, especially because of injuries. The man almost had 300 tackles in the last 2 seasons.
That's fantastic.
Like, yeah, sign me up. Sign me up. So, again, did we pay too much for him? Probably. We probably should have paid more. Like I was thinking like $8 million for a guy like that based on what you see other guys signing for him. We'll go over that a little later when we go over the linebackers. But I'll take it. I'll take it because this was a need, and this was a move we had to make. We had to improve this position.
But not just a need, a necessity.
Comes to the Drew and Roberto are both in love with linebacker. Who will the linebacker pick? I like how he's got the little rose on there too, like the Bachelor.
I was about to say, tune in next week on The Bachelor to find out.
So here's another interesting stat for you, okay? He had more defensive stops than almost all of the linebackers we had last year combined. So for those who aren't aware what a defensive stop is, because that's kind of like one of those advanced metric kind of weird stats. So it's basically how successful a play you were based on what down you were at and what percentage of the yards left you gave up, basically. So like 45%, if you gave up less than 45% of the yards needed for a first down, for example, if you gave up less than 60% of the yards needed on a second down, or if you stopped them for no gain on third or fourth down, that's a defensive stop. So he had 75 defensive stops in 2022, tied for the 10th most amongst linebackers. So the Giants altogether had 87 as a linebacker group. That was 19 fewer than any other defense in the entire league. 19 fewer. We're talking about 87. That means we're like 80% of the second worst team. That's how bad our linebackers were, folks. That's how bad. Like, I can't even get over how bad our linebackers were. Like, this is tremendous, guys. Seriously. Absolutely freaking tremendous. So, Next Gen Stats ranked him as the 5th best off-ball linebacker in the entire NFL last season.
It's fantastic.
That's an upgrade and a half. That is an upgrade and a half. Like, that's like we just traded in an 89 Honda Civic for a Lamborghini, guys. Yeah, we're paying $40 million for it, but it's a Lamborghini. Who gives a damn?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. So,
drive it like you stole it.
Exactly. So, let's get on to our next moves we got here. So, next one is Sterling Shepard. Shep is back. Back again. Who knows what injury he'll have this year. So, he's back. The veteran minimum deal. $1.1 million to play this year. The big thing is, will he actually play this year?
Not the full year. I hate to say it.
Well, here's the thing, though. So he's going to be ready for camp. That's what they're saying. That's what his people are telling the Giants. But the big thing is, you got fans flipping the hell out because he's taking up a roster spot, and he'll get hurt again. Guys, he doesn't take up a roster spot unless he makes the roster.
Yeah.
He's a veteran minimum deal. We cut him. We lost nothing. This is not a guy with guaranteed money. So anybody who's thinking that, chill. The only way he makes his team is if he's healthy and he outplays the other people we have that could possibly play the position. That's it. No harm, no foul, no way this blows up in our face.
And also it's not like we have a lot of depth in that wide receiver spot. So take what you get.
No.
Especially, like we've talked about Shep before, him being a player, coach of the players, if you will.
Yeah.
Like, he's seen the Super Bowl. He's the most veteran guy we have. Give him the veteran deal. Let him coach up our young talent. Like, you don't think Wandale can learn from this guy?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, even just in general, if he's a backup wide receiver that you put in there under obvious passing plays where you need that clutch catch, he's been clutch his whole career, guys. I'll take it. As John S. Anderson comes in with Shep and his grandpa Walker hobbling into camp. But he's only making $1 million plus. John, you can't say grandpa to a guy who's like 30 years old. We know your age, John. You told us this.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. He's much younger than I am, even. You're much older than I am. So therefore, you could be his daddy. That's how old you are.
Who is it, daddy? What does he do?
So next up at the wide receiver position here, as John asked earlier, LB locked wide receiver. Well, the wide receiver position, the big rumor is that the Giants are supposedly talking to the Broncos about Jerry Jeudy. But here's the thing. I keep hearing it, but from
I don't see anything official.
Nobody that I'm saying is legit is saying it, though. It's like random people on Twitter that they're trying to start the rumor themselves. So I don't want to sit there and say it's true, but there are rumblings of that, I guess is probably the best way to word it.
That's a good way.
Yeah.
The rumors aren't correct.
Rumor has it.
Rumor has it. Drew has a Lamborghini.
Of course I do. It's a Hot Wheels. Leading the way.
Yeah.
Pow, pow, Power Wheels. So next up, we did re-sign Wyatt Davis, the guard. This guy's just a camp body, guys. I don't want him to go too much into. We've been over this guy. We've signed him and dropped him like 3 times, I feel like. He's a camp body. If he makes the squad, I'll be happy for him because it means he's turning his life around from stopping to be a jerk to all his coaches. Otherwise, it is what it is. The other big free agent signings, I don't want to say huge because this is a backup guy, a rotational piece. We also did get at defensive tackle Rakeem Nunez-Roches from the Tampa Bay Bucks. Started 10 games last season for them. We signed him to a 3-year deal. So the big thing I like about him is it's a guy who's got starting experience, a guy that we can rotate in, and guess what his specialty is, then, folks? Stopping the run. What could we not do last year?
Something we can use.
Run. So, we got a guy coming in whose specialty is what we've had trouble doing. Makes sense. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Like, this is a guy that literally you will probably see coming off the field during major passing plays. That's what kind of guy he is. But he's a guy that you're going to see on run stop. And I got actually a little story with Rakeem here. I met the guy actually once. So the weird thing is, I'll be honest and say I didn't know who the hell he was at first. It wasn't until somebody else had told me who he was. So I met him. Really nice guy, really down to earth. Likes fishing. Weird bit of knowledge there on him. He likes fishing on. He actually has an older truck he drives around just to go fishing with, so he doesn't get that fish smell and all of his stuff.
I don't blame him.
Smart move.
Yeah.
So the guy was, so for those who aren't aware, we've talked about this a little bit before. I don't talk too much about my outside of podcast life too much here, but I do work in an auto repair facility. We'll call it that. And he came in and he said, this is his fishing truck. And I was all like, fishing truck? What do you have? Like a swimming truck, a hunting truck? Like, how many trucks do you have? And it wasn't like it's anything fancy or anything. It's just what it was. But he was, I'm telling you, like, humble as hell about it. Like, he wasn't like trying to brag about it. He's like, oh, no, just don't want to get my good stuff dirty. But I mean, like, seriously, down to earth guy. You couldn't help but like the guy just talking for 5-10 minutes. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be a guy the locker room's going to like to have. He's a guy that's going to be, kind of that pump him up kind of guy on the sidelines as well. Kind of like Jihad Ward. We were talking about him the other day on how he is in that, like that kind of guy. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, like the media's going to like this guy. The fans are going to like this guy. And it's not going to be because of his talent on the field as much as his personality. As weird as it sounds to say that. Like I said, he's going to be a good player. He'll be a good guy as far as a rotational piece. Won't be a starter, but it'll be a guy that'll probably get a little bit of an internal fan base. Like the Sills Army maybe can move over to him. that kind of move there. So what do you think on getting him there, Rob?
I think it's a smart move. Once again, like, where did we struggle all year? What did teams do to us? They stuffed the ball down the middle. They ran up on us nonstop. We couldn't. What did we average? Let up 120 rushing yards a game, 130 rushing yards a game. Like, it's not a good thing. So when you got a positive player coming in there and its specialty is to stop the run, he may not be there every down, but he could actually help improve the players that are better at the pass rush than just the rush.
Yeah. We got more comments from my dad logged in listening there. Hey, Dad, love you. Doesn't Judy have the same problem as Slayton? Draft a receiver. And I'm with them on that. Those who listen to us enough to know that my whole theory on that, draft a receiver or to get Jacoby Meyer. He's the only wide receiver that I'm interested in this free agency class. But I think he's going to be out of our price range. So unless there's some voodoo magic going on with their salary cap, I don't think we're getting him.
Someone will overpay for him.
Yeah, someone's going to, because there's not a lot of receivers out there. Same reason I say we're going to lose Slayton, because someone's going to overpay because there's not a lot of receivers out there. So, yeah. Next up is going to be a few things that we're not going to like. For those who might be thinking we're homers just based on how we've been reacting to the first couple of moves here, here goes the homer mentality out the window.
No.
Yeah. So the Giants are said to be interested in cornerback Trey Herndon of the Jaguars. Now, remember that big play that Darius Slayton had in the Jags game, the very first drive, where he just ran right down the sidelines for an easy touchdown?
I was right against him.
Yeah, it's exactly who was against. This guy is not good. The Jaguars are basically purging all of their corners. This is not where we need to be getting help from. Unless their thought process is to have him as a depth piece, because at least he has some starting, experience. But we already went over this. We have enough depth pieces. We need legit corners. We need two guys who can put on the field that won't embarrass themselves. This guy embarrassed himself. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'd rather draft a guy than go with this guy.
Agreed.
Yeah. Next move that's really going to tick me off. Ready for the really... Here we go. Let's get ready. Everybody just sit back in your chair, relax, put your tray in the upright position as we ride the Andrew Rants here because, we re-signed the Scottish Hammer, Jamie Gillan. 2 years, $4 million, can go to $5 million with incentives. And I could not be more pissed off about this move. And it's weird. I never thought I'd see myself get so fired up over a
punter.
goddamn punter. I am fired up over the punter. Fired up. Like, okay. Yes, can he kick far? Yes, he can kick far. I guess that's one of the qualifications of being a punter, obviously. He can't kick it high. He can't kick it to a corner. He's got 1 out of 3. The man can kick the ball very far, right into the end zone. That's not his job. Your job as a punter is to pin them deep in their own territory. It's to go ahead and try the coffin corner. It's to go ahead and use the high hang time at that point to force them to fair catch the ball at the 5-yard line. It is not to punt the ball out of the back of the goddamn end zone.
So, listen, I'll go to East Rutherford. I'll give them a talk. We'll be all right.
Yeah, and that's what I keep on hearing too. Like, okay, so I've been on Facebook and these groups and everything nonstop all freaking, day long since this happened. And people were like yelling at him, we're going to coach him up. We coached him last year, didn't we? Like, it's not like this is a guy we can look at on tape go, they didn't coach him correctly. We got this. We can fix this guy. We were the ones who were coaching him. So what's going to be some magical flip all of a sudden that he's going to learn to punt, learn to be coached better?
Bring a Scottish coach.
We got Chris King TV. I like Gillan. He has a leg. Listen, he's got 2 legs. But he doesn't use them right. That's the problem. She's still doing rugby. And is he a legitimate punter in this league? If he actually was young enough where he could have gone back and gone to school and learned better. I don't mean like punting school, like go to college for a couple of years, and gotten into it younger. But I want to see where we win now. Like, I don't want to go that crazy because it sets expectations for, you guys as Giant fans, what to expect this year. But we're in improve now. We're in don't embarrass us now. We don't need a punter who holds onto the ball so long that the punts are getting blocked. Or that he's fumbling the ball and trying to pick it up and repunt it and stuff. It's like, I don't know. I've never disliked a punter so much in my life. I really haven't. And it's weird, I know.
There's other positions that I'm more worried about than that.
Yeah, I'm with you. And listen, I wasn't worried about this position because I thought we were just going to drop him like a rock and get somebody else. My biggest hope is there's like no guaranteed money in this. And we can go and punt,
punt them out of here.
Yeah, draft the punter to punt him out of here, okay? Or he ends up in the back of the end zone like Jimmy Hoffa and all the punts he did last year. Yeah. King Chris TV also says, got us take Zay Flowers first round and Darius Rush second. How you all feel about that? I really think it depends on what happens the rest of the free agency. We're probably actually going to go ahead and do a mock draft here on Friday, post all the decisions I made the next couple of days, because I think it'll be interesting how that changes it. But I don't know. Like I said, it's just I think as of right now, if I had to pick now, I'd be happy if 2 of the 4 quality picks, and again, the quality picks are day 1, day 2 picks, wide receiver, corner. And I can even probably throw in an interior offensive lineman based on how everything's going. So, yeah, that's where I'm going with there. King Chris TV also says, our D-line pissed me off more than Gillan, honestly. Listen, if you're talking about the lack of depth we have from last year, I'm with you on that. But they're fixing it. And that's what I guess where I don't get upset about that is because Joe Shane recognized that, immediately went out and signed a guy for depth. And vocally said, hey, we need to improve the depth of this defensive line. So I'm not upset about that area. I'm not worried about that area. I'm worried when I got a guy who just, to me, was not a very good punter. And the first day of free agency, take our money. Here's $4 million. Yeah, like, did you guys look at options? We got Corey says, do you guys think DJ takes a step back this year or continues to improve? Corey, it depends on what weapons we put around him. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rob. I know you like him more than I do, but
100%. I mean, not even physically, he made a lot of difference. A lot of mental choices he made. He was definitely, you could tell he was better coach this past year. He's going to continue to improve. The thing is, does Barkley stay healthy? That's going to change how he plays. Do we pick up some wide receivers in this draft? Do we get some free agent wide receivers where it puts some depth in that struggling position? When Slayton and Richie James were your leaders in the year, that's a problem. Like, nothing against these guys, but these are your wide 4, wide 5s. These shouldn't be nowhere near the wide 1 mark or even the wide 2. So that makes a big difference. And like I said, you also have to make sure that Shaq stays healthy. Like, you got to see if that, he's not in a contract year either. So you got to see how he plays. Like, if he comes out and plays like he did last year, like, it's going to change how Daniel Jones throws the ball as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. A couple other moves we had with Giants, or now one also is an ex-Giant. Casey Kreiter, the long snapper, is back in a 1-year deal. Listen, I haven't heard his name once during the season. When you're a long snapper, that's the key. You did a good job. If nobody's heard your name, you've done a good job. You want to be in the background in that. Like, if we're talking about you, something went bad. So yeah, I'm good with that re-signing there.
It's not the snap we talk about.
We also lost somebody. Nick Gates, guys. Nick Gates.
That one hurt.
Oh my God. Seriously, this one bothered me a little bit here. And it bothered me until I heard how much money he was getting from the Commanders. They paid him 3 years, $16.5 million.
I can't be mad at him, but
yeah, I thought we'd get him for like 2.5 a year, which would have been like 3 years, $7 million. So yeah, obviously somebody saw something in him value-wise and had some money to spend. And like I said, it's the DC Commanders. So we'll still see Nick Gates twice a year, guys. A little reunion. Rumor is the Giants only offered him a minimum deal and gave him no guarantee to start. They wanted him to still play that kind of role like he's been playing of, you play wherever we need somebody, basically. So he went somewhere where he can be a true center, where he got more money. Yeah, I think it's a good move for Gates. I'll put it that way. If I take my Giant fan cap off for a minute and go, what was best for Gates? This was a group of, a team that believed in him, that had a spot for him, and offered him a lot of money. Yeah, go for it, Nick. No hard feelings there whatsoever.
Can't be mad.
No, can't be mad at all, except for the Commanders for overpaying.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, he vocally talked about how he wanted to be Giant, but with everything that was going on, I didn't. That was one that I kind of knew we were probably going to lose in this year.
I was hoping not, but
I was hoping not. But like, it was, you're gonna have to pay the guy because he is good, and he came off this crazy injury, but he's playing like he hasn't missed a beat. So Commanders got a good pickup.
So we got a couple more Giants related questions, and then guys, we're gonna go right into after these questions. Going into all the news from the NFL, because we have, I literally have 5 pages of signings.
It's a laundry list.
Yeah, it's going to be a long list, so we're going to go through this kind of quick. John Anderson says, get wide receiver Jonathan Mingo, hand size 10 3/8. I mean, I'll say this, it's more than just how big your hands are. Size doesn't always matter. It's what you do with those hands. That's what matters. Pull it up in my dad. That's kind of creepy. So that's the reason why punters change teams often. They are seldom young and good. They learn their craft over the years. Yeah, and he's right. I mean, that's... How many times do you see the old, 35-year-old punter that still hits that corner right, or still gets that good hang time? But yeah, I mean, that's true. And again, when you got a guy who was learning, never played in high school or as a kid or college, just all of a sudden just picked up a football randomly because they were at a rugby balls at the sporting goods store. I don't know, whatever the story was, how he learned it, I don't know. That might not be how he learned it. I don't know. I can't confirm. My dad also comes in with, we need a true center. And yeah, we do. We need a true center. Who that's going to be, I don't know yet. But we need a true one. We do have a couple options to go over when we talk about the rest of the free agency, though. King Chris TV, our feel like we need stronger edges. Also, we couldn't set the edge for shit last year. Listen, I'll say that's part of it because we were out for rushing the quarterback. But part of it also was you could set the edge all you want. If you don't have a linebacker to follow up and actually tackle the running back behind that edge, you're done. We didn't have that. Guess what we have now? We have that linebacker. Oh,
got
yes.
a linebacker. We got a
Corey,
linebacker.
what free agent wide receiver would you like to add? If we're going free agent, the only one that I'm personally interested in, like I said, is going to be just Jacoby Myers. Is going to be way out of our price range, personally. Keeping here Hardman, obviously, out of Kansas City. I don't know. I'm not too big a fan of him just because he couldn't make it with Patrick Mahomes as like a first overall receiver. That's always kind of scary.
I mean, Drew and I had a discussion already, but I'm also a fan of Lazard. I think for the cost you would pay for him, I think it would add a lot of depth.
Yeah, listen, I'm okay with him at the right price.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's a number one. I think he's a number two.
No. Oh, yeah, that's why I said it. I think
that's what I'm saying. But I think Jacoby Myers is the one guy who can be a number one. And I'm not saying he is yet, but he has the potential to become one. Yeah. King Chris TV, Barkley health depends heavily on the O-line to me. I mean, that's definitely true. If you
You're not wrong.
Stop him getting hit as often, that'll help. Corey, I like your tight end Daniel. Also seemed like he had potential before he went out with that eye injury. Daniel Bellinger is a big time.
He surprised a lot of Giants fans.
Yeah, big time rookie guy for us there that just came out of nowhere as a dependable option, and I think he's going to be paired with a second tight end, and you're going to see a lot of double tight end sets. We've been talking about that. Mike Gesicki is a guy I want. I'm still big on that. He hasn't signed yet, so we'll see what happens there. King Chris TV, yeah, they overpaid. He low-key got bullied in the run game. I think he was talking about Nick Gates. As my dad says, Gates was a guard learning center. Listen, the thing with Nick Gates is, and he says it himself, he's not the best football player. He gets in people's heads. That's what it boils down to. John S. Anderson, that's not what she said. King Chris TV, true. My dad goes, if the best receiver, when it's our pick, is a tight end, don't reach for a wideout. I'm with you on that, but I really don't want to pick a tight end in the first round. That doesn't tend to work out very well. The history of first round tight ends is not good. King Chris TV, how do you feel about Osiris Torres first round and wide receiver Jaden Reed in the third? I got to look up Reed. I'm okay with getting a guard in the late first like that to shore up the interior part of the offense, though. So that's definitely an option. John S. Anderson, just Gesicki is coming. Mark my words. Listen, I don't know who this Mark is, but he needs to bring your words already, okay?
Yeah.
So let's get into all the rest of the moves for the NFL here because, like I said, guys, we have a lot. We really do. So first, we're going to go position by position for you guys because it gives you a good rundown of not only who's gone, but what's left as well, if you can do that internally as we're going through. So the first quarterback, and I'd be remiss to not mention that before I get to the signings, Brock Purdy had a successful surgery to repair his UCL on Saturday. There we go there. Also, no Rodgers news to give you guys for the Jets yet. But Garrett Wilson keeps tweeting cryptically, so he's either messing with everybody or he actually knows it's going to happen. So I don't know which one. I can picture either one. He's got that kind of personality.
He could be a troll.
He likes it. Yeah, he likes doing that kind of stuff. Deshaun Watson restructured his deal, saved $36 million against the cap for the Browns there. Jimmy G goes to the Raiders. So Derek Carr, they boot him out of town, and they get Jimmy G.
That's replacing average with average, huh?
Yeah, I really don't get that. You went place with average who stays healthy to average who can't be healthy.
I mean,
and I think it's
they are in
Josh
Vegas.
McDaniel.
I mean, they are in Vegas, and Jimmy G likes his Vegas atmosphere for you all.
No, I really think this was a Josh McDaniel move because remember, Josh McDaniel was the OC in New England when Jimmy G was there too.
Yeah.
So I think that's what this move is. But oh my God, it's like this is why you don't give Josh McDaniel the reins to a franchise. Did we not learn anything from Denver, folks? Did we not? Remember the Denver.
Everyone forgot about Denver.
Oh gosh. Let's see here. We got Mike White, the former Jet quarterback, headed to the Dolphins 2 years, up to $16 million. Can you imagine that guy playing on that offense? Oh my God. The first time that Tua gets hurt and he goes in, you're going to see like 7 touchdowns and 8 interceptions for like 500 yards. It's going to be like you saw what kind of numbers he put up with the Jets.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, and it's not like he's had amazing talent around him on the Jets. Don't get me wrong, like they're not bad set up, but their offensive line has issues. You know, they have one really good receiver. The rest of them are kind of, so.
Yeah.
So now you're giving him like two amazing receivers and one of the best left tackles in all of football. I mean, like, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Backup QB Jarrett Stidham, head to the Broncos, was a Raider last year. He's the guy that they benched Derek Carr to put in. Yeah, they thought a lot of him, apparently. Case Keenum back with the Texans, 1 year, $6.25 million. Sam Darnold gets more life in the NFL. He goes off to the 49ers to be their third-string quarterback, which just sounds really weird. Yeah, like, why would you not try to get as a backup quarterback unless they know something we don't know? Like, is Trey Lance getting traded or something? I don't know. Something's weird there. Like I said, something's really weird to me. Something's wrong in San Francisco there. Chargers re-signed backup Easton Stick, 1 year, $1.8 million. Ironic thing was, for those of you guys out there that are fans of the entertainer that we had on here a couple weeks ago, he had somebody asking him about a player, and it was a fake player. It was actually a porn star's name, and they were all cracking up in the comment section and everything. And he's like, okay, what's going else is on? I'm like, Easton Stick just got signed. I promise it's not a porn name. Let's see here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are rumored to be interested in Baker Mayfield or Jacoby Brissett. I mean, they have Kyle Trask starting, so yeah, having a guy with some experience to be either the backup or challenge him for the job and have an actual battle, not a bad move. I'd go Baker personally of those two. I think we know what Jacoby is right now. Baker looked really bad in Carolina, but he looked really good in LA with the Rams. So we'll see. The Vikings entered contract talks with Kirk Cousins on an extension, nothing being imminent whatsoever. Panthers also rumored to be willing to trade Matt Corral after, he's had 1 year to sit on the bench.
Golden Corral.
Yeah. Running back news. Former Viking and Bronco running back Mike Boone is signed with the Texans, 2 years, $3.1 million. Vikings also rumored to be considering trading Dalvin Cook. Austin Eckler also requested permission to seek a trade from the Chargers after contract talks break down. So you got two of the most exciting running backs in the league potentially moving this offseason, that means.
Yeah.
That's kind of big news. I mean, Dalvin Cook is a little, I feel like, slowing down. He's kind of lost the step. But Austin Eckler, like, that's, if you have a pass-first offense. Like, we're talking about Miami a minute ago. Imagine him on Miami. Imagine that one.
That would change the AFC East.
Yeah. That'd be pretty big there. We also got Jamal Williams, the TD machine, who scored, I think, like 17 touchdowns against us when the Lions came into town. Being shown interest by not just the Lions to re-sign there, but also the Bills, Bengals, and Jets. But nothing imminent yet. Yeah. Fullback news. We actually had a fullback news. Keith Smith got re-signed by the Atlanta Falcons. Wide receiver news. We have none. Nobody has signed a wide receiver yet. Of all the moves. And what does that tell you, folks?
People don't overpay.
No, it's not just that. It's a bad market. And no one knows what to pay because of that.
Yeah.
Like, look at last year. What, Christian Kirk made, a little over $20 million a year. If he's worth 20, what is Jacoby Meyer worth? What is Juju Smith-Schuster worth?
Yeah, that's
yeah. That's, I'm telling you, that when the first domino drops and the first guy signs, you're going to start seeing sign. They're
it's going to be like chum in the water, and sharks are going to come out to attack.
Exactly, because then there'll be a litmus test. There'll be a viable thing to say, okay, well, this guy made this, therefore this guy's worth that. So I don't think any of them really going to be a big time contract, even though they're hearing the rumors now. OBJ wants $20 million. I don't think you're getting that, OBJ. I think you're getting 10, 15. As my dad chimes in, but Kirk had a good year. He did have a good year. Listen, I still don't think it was a $20 million year, but he had a better year than I expected. That's for damn sure. Let's see, tight end wise, former Jag Josh Oliver goes to the Vikings, 3 years, $21 million. Purely a run blocking tight end. He's like their Howard Cross, basically. You never see him with the ball in his hands. He's just a blocker.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like an extra tackle. Patriots also traded former Titan Jonnu Smith to the Falcons for a 7th-round pick. Never worked out from the 2 years he was in New England. Guy was doing like 450 yards a season with the Titans. Goes to the Patriots, does like 200. Juwan Johnson also re-signed with the Saints, 2 years, $12 million. Former Bronco Andrew Beck signs with the Texans, mostly used as a blocker, even played some fullback, special teamer. Literally has 14 catches in 4 seasons. So yeah, that's a guy you're not going to hear very often because that's like the unsung heroes of the team, basically. Yeah, so look, we got broke down the weapons already. We're already onto the offensive line. We are moving here. Look at this.
Just trucking right along today.
Just trucking. I got like I was thinking I got whatchamacallit, Grateful Dead on my head. I feel like I should be smoking a blunt or having some mushrooms now. So, tackle, former Chief right tackle Andrew Wiley is now a Commander, 3-year, $24 million. So the Commanders putting some money in that offensive line, getting Nick Gates, getting Andrew Wiley, and talk about not good money. Like Andrew Wiley we talked about him a couple times during the postseason. He was the weak point of that offensive line, and that's who they decided to get. Like, okay, you didn't have to pay him like top money, but you're still paying $8 million a year. Former Jag Jawan Taylor signs with the Chiefs, 4 years, $80 million.
I was gonna say, don't be mad when our divisional players make bonehead moves, right?
Oh, listen, I'm not mad at it. It just boggles me. Make some more boneheaded moves.
Yeah.
So yes, they like I said, they signed Jawan Taylor from the Jaguars for 4 years, $80 million in the Chiefs. Before they made that move, the Chiefs were rumored to be talking to the Texans about a trade for Laramie Tunsil. That would have been interesting. So this move, though, pretty much says that's not going to happen now, and also says that Orlando Brown is probably going to play somewhere else, their former left tackle, because they're saying that Taylor's going to move because he played right tackle in Jacksonville. He will be moved to left tackle now in Kansas City. So, yeah. Well, people kind of worried about that, but Orlando Brown moved from right tackle to left tackle. He went to Kansas City. That worked out well for them. It's not impossible. It's not as easy as some people think, but it's also not as difficult as other things. So, let's see. We got Broncos signed former 49er Mike McGlinchey, 5 years, $87 million. We got some big contracts here for these tackles coming here. Yeah. Andrew Dillard leaves the Eagles for the Titans, 3 years, $29 million. Cardinals re-signed Kelvin Beachum for a 2-year contract. I haven't heard the amount on it yet, but I would not imagine a lot because he's getting pretty well up there, and he's not a bad player, but he's not a great player either. On to the guards. Like a glass of water.
Guard.
Yeah. Whew. All right. So we got Ben Powers from the Ravens goes to the Broncos, 4 years, $52 million. So that's second Bronco offensive line we're talking now. So Mike McGlinchey and Ben Powers. What does that tell you? That Sean Payton thinks the offensive line was the problem. You don't need to be a fortune teller or a prognosticator like that to see what's going on. When you're signing people specifically for one group, that tells you think that group is a problem.
Yeah, I mean, not that it wasn't a problem. That whole team was a dumpster fire last year.
Yeah, it was bad. But yeah, I mean, Ben Powers literally before this year was a guy who could barely hold on to a starting job. So yeah, that's. I think they bought a little too high. Former Titan Nate Davis went to the Bears, 3 years, $30 million. Good move for them because they have offensive line issues big time. Now, he didn't have a great year last year, but he's been a consistent average guard for most of his career. So when you got crud, average seems good.
I was about to say, when you got a D-, that B sounds pretty damn good.
Yeah, and I'll say this as well. When I say that, we would have taken him and he would have started for us in a heartbeat. So I'm not trying to knock the Bears in that regard. With those in glass houses, we're definitely in a glass house.
And especially when you got a young quarterback over there that you want to see what he could do. He can't be running for his life.
Yep. Need him off his backside in order to go ahead and see what he's got. Shaq Mason's rumored to be cut by the Bucks soon. They've been trying to find a trade partner for him. Hasn't been working out very well for them. Former Cowboy Connor McGovern to the Bills, 3 years, $23 million. Right guard Chris Lindstrom re-signs with the Falcons. This is the big one. 5 years, $105 million. The highest rated player last season in the entire league by PFF. That's how good he was. Like, he has taken the crown as best guard in the entire game. And you know what? He's also taking the crown of highest paid guard in the whole game.
Yeah.
So I guess the two go hand in hand. Browns re-signed Ethan Posek. We talked about him as being probably the best center on the market. We talked about him all saying he'd probably get re-signed by the Browns. He did. 3 years, $18 million. Jason Kelsey announced he will be playing in 2023. So good job, Eagles. You got one player that's actually still going to be with you. That's the only guy you're going to... Most of your team is like leaving. You're going to find out more about that when we get to the defense. Panthers re-signed Bradley Bozeman, 3 years, $18 million. Pro Bowler Ryan Kelly of the Colts is rumored to be on the trading block. So, Giants fans, if you guys want a legit center, there's your option right there. There's your option. We're on to the defense. So, defensive line, we're going to start off here with Javon Hargrave. Went from the Eagles to the 49ers. 4 years, $84 million. So, yeah, told you. Eagles losing some players here. Deron Payne also this weekend re-signed with the Commanders, 4 years, $90 million. Now, I mentioned those two on purpose. 4 years, $84 million. Do the math here. $21 million a year. Okay? 4 years, $90 million. That's $22.5 million a year. What does that tell you, folks? When we re-sign Sexy Dexter Lawrence, he's going to need some money. He's going to get paid like $25 million a year. But I'm telling you right now, if he's as good as he was this past year, next season, that's where the negotiations are going to start now. Yeah. A lot of money. So, next we have David Onyemato goes from the Saints to the Falcons, 3 years, $35 million. Also, we got some rumors here. Browns viewed as the favorites to sign Draymond Jones from the Broncos. Shelby Harris is also rumored to be on the chopping block. They've been trying to find a trade partner. Still can't find one, so he's this close to getting cut. Calais Campbell, released by the Ravens. You know, who would have thought at 57 years old he'd be cut by the Ravens? No, he's like 38. He's like 38 years old. So, I mean, this is a guy that, honestly, I could see the Giants even bringing in if they really want to get some D-line depth because he did work, keep in mind, with Wink for a couple of years. So if he got that connection, listen, you want to bring in a veteran, maybe hopefully some of the young guys like Dexter learn something because as good as Dex is, you always can learn. Isaiah Buggs re-signs with the Lions. 2 years, up to $6 million. He's a rotational piece guy, so you know that's probably what I expect you're going to hear on a lot of these kind of guys is that kind of money there. You know what? We have one here that I'm going to be honest with you folks. I'm not going to be able to pronounce this name. I'm not. So if you're listening on podcast, I'm going to apologize ahead of time because you're not going to see this because I have a rule that I never, ever, ever want to go ahead and botch someone's name. So here you go, guys. We're going to call him Tona because I'm assuming that's how you pronounce the first name. Re-signs with the Saints 2 years, $5 million. And yes, that's how I write my notes, folks. So we got Hassan Ridgeway signs with the Texans, 1 year, $4 million. Kevin Givens re-signs with the Niners. No numbers have been given. On to edge. Texans went ahead and got Chase Winovich, 1 year, $2.7 million. Now, you probably remember him. He got signed, he got drafted by the Patriots, had 11 sacks the first 2 years. Not a bad, backup edge rusher kind of piece. Well, he's had 1 sack in the last 2 years.
I was say fell wagon.
He fell fast and hard. Our old friend Lorenzo Carter re-signs with the Falcons, 2 years, $9 million. Also, Cowboys are interested apparently in bringing back Dante Fowler Jr., though nothing's been finalized there. On to the linebackers. And I feel like this is half the signings today. Linebackers. We had so many linebackers. We talked about this all leading up to when the free agency started. And we said, this is going to be a year where you're going to see a lot of linebackers go. The numbers probably won't be so high because there's so many of them. And I'll tell you this, guys, up front. We signed the second biggest deal, linebacker-wise, when we got Bobby Okereke. So the bigger deal was Tremaine Edmonds, who a lot of you Giant fans wanted. I did not want him. And you know what the interesting was when I looked up Bobby on, trying to get a little more film on him before we started the show? I saw a guy who runs a Bears. I'm sorry, a a Bills fan page, and he was comparing Bobby Okereke and Trayman Edmonds, and saying that this guy would be the perfect replacement for Trayman because he knew we weren't going to keep him. So he goes to the Bears, 4 years, $72 million. Largest four-year deal ever for an off-ball linebacker.
Damn.
And you would think the Bears are set at the linebacker position. Nope. TJ Edwards to the Bears, 3 years, $19.5 million. First purported deal coming out of the tampering period. And from what I heard, he's a Chicago guy. I didn't look it up to verify that, but somebody told me that. He's a Chicago guy, and they think he took kind of a pay cut to go play for his home team. Because that's a lot less money than I expected. A lot less.
I mean, he's getting all the deep dish pizzas that he wants, so.
Listen, we went over this. They don't actually eat deep dish in Chicago. That's a tourist thing. They eat the thin crust. Detroit does the deep dish.
Yeah.
Bengals re-signed Jermaine Pratt, 3 years, $21 million. Former Titan David Long gets signed to the Dolphins, 2 years, $11 million. Broncos re-signed Alex Singleton, 3 years, $18 million. Right before we went on, the news was that the Vikings, former Viking Eric Kendricks signed with the San Diego Chargers. Now, the interesting thing there to me is, I haven't heard of Drew Tranquil anywhere yet. Part of me wonders, are we going to get Drew Tranquil along with Bobby Okereke and get both of our off-ball linebackers? Because Drew could actually be moved out to be an edge rusher in certain plays as well. I still think he's a guy that I'd look at as a possibility for the Giants to sign. Maybe I'm just hoping because that's the guy I wanted from the get-go. So Matt Milano with the Bears also agreed to a 2-year extension. Browns sign... okay, here's another one. Oof, we got another name I'm going to have trouble pronouncing here. I really should have practiced some of these names. There's so many. So many names.
So many.
Oh, as John S. Anderson said, what the hell was that, Roberto? Kitty cat? Because there was a tail going across your screen.
Oh, it's Adonis. That's the dog.
I just, I'm like, I don't think he had. I don't think he had a a cat. I was like, do you get a cat? And I wasn't aware. I was thinking it myself, but I was just rolling with the punches here. So Browns signed Okoronkwo. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right here. Probably not, though. 3 years, $19 million, 5 sacks last season with Houston. Lions re-signed Alex Anzalone, 3 years, $18.75 million, 17-game starter for them last year, 125 tackles. Jets re-signed Quincy Williams, 3 years, $18 million. Commanders signed Cody Barton, 1 year fully guaranteed, 136 tackles with Seattle last season. Dolphins re-signed Duke Riley, 2-year deal, mostly a special teamer, so probably not for a lot of money. Also, Cowboys rumored to be interested in Bobby Wagner, which tells you right there that Leighton Vander Esch probably is not going to be a Cowboy next year, unless something turns around. Turn around. So, on to the corners. There's usually 4 corners. We have more than 4 this time. former Steeler Cameron Sutton, who I heard a lot of Giants fans saying they wanted to be our CB2, went to the Lions, 3 years, $33 million. Jonathan Jones returns to the Patriots on a 2-year, $20 million deal. Steelers get Patrick Peterson, the ageless wonder, who's now 57 years old, going into his 37th season. Now, he's like 32 or 33. 2-year deal, $24 million. Bucks re-signed Jamel Dean, who would have been a perfect fit for our defense. 4 years, $52 million. Brandon Fickerson signs with the Raiders. Part-time starter for the Colts last season. No numbers given. Commanders claimed former Viking Cameron Dantzler. So they could take on his $2.9 million number this year now. Over the weekend, the big news corner-wise, Jalen Ramsey was traded to the Dolphins for a 3rd-round pick and Hunter Long, the tight end. Not a bad deal for the Dolphins if Jalen Ramsey goes back to his old self. I still think he lost a step potentially, but we'll see. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Could also be that he didn't have some of the weapons around him on defense he's used to having. Yeah,
could be LeCon be there.
Yeah, definitely. Safety-wise, Falcons signed Jesse Bates, 4 years, $64 million, 4th highest paid safety in the NFL now. Von Bell goes to the Panthers, rumored 7.5 average annual salary. That's both safeties from the Cincinnati Bengals gone.
That's
rough.
It's very rough. They got to make some room to pay Burrow and Chase.
Yeah, this is what happens when you win a lot. You lose some of your players because people also want to win.
And then look at your players.
Yeah. So that's what's going to happen,
that's valuable.
folks. So, yeah, the cost of winning. 49ers over the weekends re-signed Deshaun Gibson, 1 year, $2.9 million. MJ Stewart re-signs with the Texans, 2 years, $6 million. Marcus Epps leaves the Eagles, signs Raiders, 2 years, $12 million. Another Eagle gone. I'm saying like half their defense going to be gone by the time this whole thing is done.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Jets re-sign Greg Zuerlein, 1 year, $2 million. Falcons re-sign Bradley Pinion, their punter, 3 years, $8.65 million. We did it, folks. We did it.
Made it through.
We made it through. Oh, let's go.
Let's go. Steve Weiser.
Let's go to the comments. Listen. I would love to break open. Unfortunately, this bud is empty. So we got. Let's see the rest of the comments here. Where we end off here. Here we go. Okay. We got next one up is. Here we go. No, we did that one too. We did okay. There we go. That Draymond Jones deal, that just went through. So good job, Corey, letting us know going on there. King Chris TV, yeah, check Reed out. He's a dog. Will do. Ex-Jet till Purdy back for John Anderson. I'm guessing that is a Sam Darnold comment there. King Chris TV, I think Miami goes after Malik Hooker second round. It's possible, that's for sure. Yeah, my dad has already said that. We already said that one there. He said that the star wide receiver pay scale is north of $20 million now. I don't disagree there, as I haven't. Ooh, Charlie horse.
Yeah, we've talked about it in previous episodes that it's hard for us to say like, hey, we got to pay this receiver $18 million, but that's pretty much the going rate. Like, any words on T. Higgins? What they're going to pay this guy?
He'll get paid at $25 million.
Yeah, like it's craziness. But that's the market. And then, the cap's going to go up in the next couple of years, and that's what players are going to get paid. I mean, it's the name of the game.
Yep, that's the name. Pay. Whew. Charlie horse. I need a drink there. And not a Budweiser. Let's see here. We got quickest way to improve your QB is keeping him upright. Yeah, that's damn straight. That is, If he can actually see the field, he can actually do something with the field. So we got what would I'm telling you the bad Charlie horse, man. What would Calais Campbell want to play on G-Men? Get him, he's worth it for a year. And that's all he would be probably is 1 year. Like I said, he's like 38 years old. We already said that was the kitty cat comment there. Drew and Okereke would go crazy. Is that over the Drew Tranquil? And I'm wondering, are you saying he'd go crazy in a good way or a bad way? Because you have to share some of the spotlight. My dad says Peterson needs to play in his own scheme. Yeah. He's like 32, 33 as a corner. So, yeah. John S. Anderson, any word yet on Leonard Williams taking pay cut? What do you think they'll do with him? I think they're going to extend him personally.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're probably going to cut it down, extend him, give more money over a period of time, and then it'll be more salary cap friendly.
I think what you're going to end up seeing is, I think you're going to see like a 3-year deal with him, probably more along the lines of like, $60 million, which sounds like a lot for a tackle, but keep in mind, folks, his number is like $36 million this year. So, yeah, if you can get it down to like $20 million and save yourself $16 million and be able to guarantee him like 2 more years in the league like that, I think it's something you can see both sides taking. My dad says the Eagles have the draft picks to replenish their defense. They do, but there's no guaranteed draft picks work. That's the beauty of it. John S. Anderson, LMFAO, Charlie Horse. Listen, my whole leg is tightened up, John, right now. It's not funny.
It's hysterical.
Seriously, I can feel my whole hamstring right now, like it's a rock right now. Like I'm like Kadarius Toney right now. Oh my god. So like I said, we got a lot of stuff that happened here today. We got a lot more stuff coming, guys, because this is just day one. Just day one. So I'm going to check real quick, see if we got any more big news before we sign off here for the day, because, Yeah, stuff's always going down, guys. It's crazy right now. Stuff is going like every 2 minutes, something else is going down. Let's see here. So yeah, we already said Chargers getting Eric Kendricks. That's more verified because I just seen one person real quick before we came on. Broncos signed D-line Zach Allen. Jameis Winston is officially going to be staying with the New Orleans Saints, which is kind of weird. He's going to be a backup, I guess. But Texans expected to sign defensive back Jimmy Ward from the 49ers. Vikings to sign defensive end Marcus Davenport. Yeah, that was one of the guys that I heard people saying the Giants might be interested in. I didn't see it personally. Yeah. But yeah, he got a 1-year deal for $13 million with the Vikings. See if he can do something with them at that point, since he didn't do much really in New Orleans. Let's see here. We got the Falcons are going to be signing Caden Ellis, linebacker. Let's see here. What else we got? Bills re-signed punter Sam Martin. I guess the punt god is not coming. There we go. Let's see. Bears defensive lineman DeMarcus Walker agreed to a deal. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty decent sized deal probably. I didn't hear the numbers on the ad I'm looking for right now. They expected him to get about $7 million for 3 years. So yeah, I haven't heard of that one yet. Let's see. Isaiah Rodriguez is here in the chat saying, breaking news, Devontae asked for a trade. Which Devontae we talking about, Isaiah? See if he comes back with that one.
Devontae Adams?
I was thinking Adams.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard anything on that yet. So, yeah. I mean, I've heard a lot of rumors, people saying that. Why would he want to go play with Jimmy G when he can go ahead and play with, a better quarterback? But, I mean, he wanted to play with Derek Carr, who's an average quarterback. So why would you not want to play with Jimmy G necessarily? I don't know. We'll see.
Because Sim and Carr are boys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That was a college thing. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, we got some big stuff here, guys, today. As a Giant fan, I'm excited. Just off the linebacker move alone. Because that's been the move that we've had to have for how many years now. We finally have a good linebacker. Now let's see what happens, because now we're letting all the shoes drop. See what else is out there. And I'm telling you this, guys. Joe Shane is not going to rush to make a move because of a need. He's not.
No.
He's going to go ahead and make the move when he has to make the move because he sees the right contract with the right player. That's what he's going to do. He's not the guy who's going to rush to make a deal because people are saying he has to. He'll be patient. Same as he was today.
So if you guys trade that line.
Yeah, so if you guys see moves not being made that you really want being made, Goose Fraba. Goose Fraba.
Yeah.
Goose Fraba.
Goose Fraba.
Goose Fraba. Because the moves will happen. Same as they happen today. It's just going to take time. It's got to be the right contract. It's got to be the right player, folks. So we'll be back with you guys again tomorrow. So we'll be back on again 9 o'clock. That's our plan basically the next 3 days. Actually, the next 2 days, sorry, because 3 days including today. We're going to be here giving you guys all the news. So we'll be here again 9 o'clock tomorrow, giving you guys the full rundown of everything that happened here on the Tuesday, day 2 of the free agent frenzy.
Free agency.
The free agent frenzy. So again, Giant fans, we appreciate you guys listening in to everything here. Again, sharing is caring, guys. Please do go ahead and share the link. Let people know that you think might be interested in what we're doing here. That's how you grow the show organically with us, be part of the community. We do definitely appreciate that. Again, if you like the content, you want to sponsor the next show, sponsorships are available. buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. That's 2 the number, not the word. And then, of course, if you guys are watching us live, again, we appreciate it very much. If you're not, we're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitter. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. We're live on my LinkedIn page. I was like saying that's funny because who does a LinkedIn page?
That's not even a joke.
Just us. It's legit. We're on my LinkedIn page. So we're also, of course, available afterwards on all those platforms as well. If you don't have the chance to watch live with us there at 9 o'clock on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, we're also available, of course, usually within an hour or two of ending the show on literally every single podcast platform known to man. So not just Apple and Spotify and Amazon and Google. We're on like ones I never even heard of, probably will never go to myself. But if you guys do, kudos, because you're listening to us on it. So again, folks, keep in mind, you can like, you can share, you can do all that stuff on all of those different platforms. The best way to never miss a live show is to hit that bell on YouTube, because then you'll actually get the heads up that when we're going live. If you prefer Facebook, just put that you're going to one of the events that we're doing. Because if you do that, that's when they're going to go ahead and give you the heads up on your phone's notification like YouTube does. And then you'll know that we're going live. Like I said, we'll be back on tomorrow, guys, for you. 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back up there for you, giving you guys all the info on what's going on there in the Giants world and the NFL world. Because, a lot more moves to go. A lot more moves to go. Yeah, so like I said, we'll be continuing doing it until Tuesday. We'll be continuing Wednesday. Hopefully we'll have some more things to celebrate. Maybe a wide receiver, maybe a linebacker. Linebacker, maybe a lineman, maybe a cornerback. Some of the other holes getting filled, because I'm a big fan, and I don't want to go into the draft with a need. Because when you go into the draft without a need, you can literally pick the best available player. That's what you want to do. You want to pick the best, not the best for your needs. So let's hope that's the case.
You pick the best available at the position that you're at, and then go from there and build around that.
Exactly. Because that's what you want. You want just ball players. You want guys who are skilled. You don't want to go, I need a receiver. Who's the best receiver? That's how you reach. That's how you get something that's less than what you should have gotten. That's when you kick yourself in the butt later on. When you don't get Micah Parsons, for example, or Rashawn Slater, because you really wanted that wide receiver. How'd that work, Kadarius Toney?
Who tore his ACL?
Yeah. Just saying. That's how this works. So, again, guys, thank you very much for listening in today. We appreciate you taking the time to listen to what these goofballs have to say. Again, drop us a line here in the comments there if you have any thoughts or anything you want us to cover the next one there. We appreciate you guys listening in here what these goofballs have to say. And as always, Giant fans, go G-Men! G-Men! Sign some more players, G-Men.
Yeah.
We need all the help we can get.
Frenzy.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support. If you made it this long, you must have enjoyed it. So I am sure you have followed us on all the social media platforms. Of course, you have subscribed to the show on your favorite app as well and given us a top rating. Right?